What is more important in a smooth fountain pen? The feed or the nib, or is it a bit of both? Double question mark. It honestly, it has to do with both, but it's mainly the nib. Okay, so yes, the feed is important, and that has to do more with the ink delivery, which definitely can have an impact, but I'm gonna focus mainly on the nib. So the grind of the nib has a lot to do with it. That's the part, the tip. So that's the part that's actually touching the page. So the alignment, and then how much it's smoothed and how properly it's ground and everything, that is going to affect it the most drastically, because that is the friction point where the tip is actually touching the paper. There are other factors as well. The paper itself, how rough it is, that affects it as well. But your question is more specifically about the pen, so I won't touch on that too much. Where the feed kind of comes in is if you are having a really dry flow of ink and you are having to press harder. Just the act of pressing harder on a pen is going to give you more friction and not make it feel as smooth. And also, if you're having to press too much and compensate, that can cause the nibs to flex out a little bit, the tines to flex out a little bit on your nib, can cause misalignments, especially if you have the pen rotated one way or the other in your hand. That can cause it to be scratchy, especially on the cross stroke. So that's where the flow and the feed, where the delivery of the ink can really ultimately affect the way that your pen feels on the page. Of course, there's other factors too, like the weight of the pen and your writing speed and yada, yada, yada. But honestly, how well the nib is tuned is going to affect it more drastically than anything else. That's why having proper alignment is key, which if you watch my video on the Goulet loop tutorial, that will show you how to kind of check for alignment there. And then making sure that it is smoothed to your liking as well. You know, different companies, they tune them differently. Some of them are a little bit toothier, like Aurora is one. Others are really, really smooth, like Visconti. They make theirs really smooth. So a lot of it has to do with preference. I think most people tend to prefer them to be pretty smooth, but that's kind of what's going on there. And yeah, that pretty much covers what I wanted to say about that.